Tom, aka Genio, here for Star Frontiers Gamer. You might notice we're in a different habitat. This is a image that I found, and it had, go ahead, use it, don't care, type of permissions on it. And so I use it from time to time. It's, it's a ringed space station, obviously, habitat. And I'm using this particular background in honor of the fact that I'm reviewing a product today of a domed city. I found a map, a poster map of a domed city in an RPG product from back in the day. And it happened to be a Paranoia product. You see, back in the day, month in, month out, there was always Paranoia ads in Dragon Magazine. And I'd look at those ads and I was like fascinated. Absolutely wanted to check it out, but my local game store did not carry Paranoia. So I never got to check it out until adulthood and eBay came along. And, then I started bidding on allotments and finally won one. And I got a nice allotment, second edition rules, bunch of supplements to go along with it, and this thing, which I'm reviewing today, it's DOA Sector travelogue for Paranoia. Now, I kind of have some good news and some bad news in this. This thing is useless to you as a Star Frontiers gamer. This here. The map, however, is highly useful, I feel. So this thing, not available on the web. In fact, if we go to drive-through, West End Games went bankrupt in '98. Then there was a succession of companies that picked up the remnants. Last one going out of business in 2017, which is significant because that's all that Wikipedia lists. So when it came time for me to laminate and scan the map, the office place didn't want to scan copyrighted materials, so we had to do this investigation, and we discovered that the last company that picked up the remnants of West End Games went out of business in 2017. So I'm like, see, no problem, you can scan it. Well, I totally knew that Mongoose has Paranoia 5th edition here on drive-through. And then they have a Paranoia archive. The only problem is in the Paranoia archive, this DOA sector does not exist. Why, I don't know. I came here looking for it so I could reference it, say, hey, if you like what I'm, what I want to show you about this particular, travel log, this particular setting document, that you can go to, drive through and get it. And the only problem would be is you wouldn't get a poster map. You would get just scanned 8.5 by 11 pages, and you'd have to print them and put them together on clear contact paper, do a little little bit of redneck trailer park self-lamination there with the contact paper that we used to do that back in the day. We're happy to do it. I don't know. Does anybody else remember doing that? I did that. Just being cheap. And, then along came Staples and Office Max, and I can go down there and laminate a poster. Oh, fantastic. But, so the travelogue is not here in the Paranoia archive for Mongoose, unfortunately. So I then went looking around the internet. I located a photograph of the map, and then I noticed it's in Spanish. Se habla español to my nerdy brothers. So, this was like the only good picture I could find. And so therefore I then went, unfolded mine, put it on the floor and did a snapshot. But, this is not really good enough for you to game with. This is substandard. And, so I really wanted you to be able to have this resource too. Well, then we that brings us back to the story of going to the office supply place, getting them to laminate it, getting them to scan it, and boom. Here we go, this glorious map. Now there's some Easter eggs in here. Right away you can see, I don't know if you can see the cursor, but right here there's Pac-Man and some ghosts. These are presented as buildings as part of the map, but it's a little Easter egg in there. Nod back to the 1980s. And let's face it, Paranoia is a quirky game. It's a quirky game, and it's really a game that's it's a game that is the spiritual home for murder hobos. Quite honestly. So it's a great map. I mean, there's some oddball things here, like you can see a radiation symbol here, but this is presented as buildings, not as a nuclear power plant per se. So I would make this, like research facility where they are using radiation, nuclear medicine, that kind of thing. Over here, there's a blast zone. It looks like some sort of crater and destruction. So right away, that begins to suggest story going on here in this particular setting piece. And I'm sure there's other little Easter eggs in here I've not figured out yet. But look at all these colored areas. And these were obviously coded to the Paranoia game. And the way you would use these is quite possibly different factions, or like one color might be, like green might be residential, red might be government, or orange could be government. I like this little building here in almost the center of town, this orange building in the green section, as maybe like a courthouse or something. But some of these are numbered, and you would just rewrite things to go for these numbered locations throughout the city. And one thing I would do with this, because, dome cities are a sci-fi trope, going back to Logan's Run, coming forward to Schwarzenegger's Total Recall. They're just a thing. And, when I saw this map, I was like, I so have to use this with Star Frontiers. And the way I would use it with Star Frontiers is I'm leaning towards making dome cities a thing on Outer Reach. Inner Reach has the chukas and forests, so it's warmer. Outer Reach, therefore, would be colder, maybe less hospitable, and the atmosphere is just not good. And I would write in to my setting that for every hour that you're out in the atmosphere on Outer Reach without a breathing apparatus or some sort of environmental suit, that every hour you lose 10 stamina points. So you can only stay out in the atmosphere without a breathing apparatus for a couple hours before it becomes fatal. So I thought that would be a good thing, and that so to be environmentally enclosed buildings, buildings or dome cities, and this could be the main dome city, and that it's actually under the thumb of the Malthar. So he's got Dark World Station in orbit. He then has this, and all these color-coded sections could then be the different crime lords who hold sway on the surface. And so, but they're all under the Malthar's thumb and afraid of him until Dramune Run module deposes the Malthar, depending on how, the outcome of the module. It's a little bit of a railroad there, but, depending on how you play it. And so you can actually then run a sequel to Dramune Run using this map. And it's now all these crime factions are vying to see who's going to become the next Malthar. And the player characters would then be kind of stranded in the city with some objectives they must have obtained. And then they got to get out of the city and hot-foot it to a landing field and commandeer a ship or bust out their ship, something along those lines, to get out of here, to get out of Dodge. So I think this particular map, even though it's a Paranoia map, it totally lends itself to how I would like to interpret Outer Reach within the setting that I particularly run. And I think, but again, you could totally use this in your Star Frontiers game, your Traveler game, almost any sci-fi game. I just interviewed Darren Drader, and we talked about his Reign of Discordia. Totally use it in that. I mean, just anything whatever game you're playing, whatever rule set you're using, you could totally use this map. If you got to go on an auction site and find it, though, you're going to step up to pay for it. I'm going to post some pictures in the show notes. And, you know, by pictures, I mean this, you know, but if I accidentally posted this, it would be a total accident. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And this is absolute glorious piece of RPG support material. And I believe if you do sci-fi gaming, you need this in your collection. The book that comes with it, not so much. But this map is worth its weight in gold. Unfortunately, it's going to be almost impossible to locate on the internet. Yeah, I bounced around eBay and I didn't see any auctions, you know, when I was there doing my due diligence before this, just for this video. So this is Tom from Star Frontiers Gamer. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think this is a fabulous support material for your gaming. I think it's totally something I'm porting right into my Star Frontiers game, and I think you should too. And thank you. Good wife's bringing me food. The special in the tap room is space stroganoff with soylent bovine protein, and it is delicious. I highly recommend it. If you stop by the tabletop tap room today, that is the special. So thank you for watching this video. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great. And I will see you in the frontier.